What is going on, everybody? Michael.Beveraggi here for what is part two of the Tortured Poets Department. This is the Anthology, I believe it's called, yes. I open up this video smiling, just smiling because I can't believe that this part exists. It was announced as I was recording my first reaction to the Tortured Poets Department, the first part. I listened to the album as soon as it came out, live at midnight, my local time. And yeah, she announced it at 2 a.m. and my video, of course, was so long that I was still like mid-album, in the middle of the album. And I get a couple messages, plus see some notifications and stuff. And there you have it. Taylor announces that there's a back half of the album, a second part, the Anthology. I don't really know what that means. I don't know what to expect. There was already so much to take in with the first 16 tracks. There was just no way I was going to be able to sit down and have the time or bandwidth to film a proper reaction to the rest of those tracks. What I've done is I've just spent more time with the first half of the Tortured Poets Department over the past few days. I've just spent more time with it, listened to it a few times now. I've stayed off the internet because I don't want to see people's responses and reactions and ratings and just general talk, or I obviously want to avoid all spoilers for the sake of giving you guys the best video I can, the best reaction I can. So I don't know anything about the back half of this album, literally aside from the fact that it's 15 other tracks. I haven't even looked at the song titles. I don't even know what the song title names are. We're going to find all that out as we jump into the album here. So it's been a few days now since I've posted my reactions to the first album, whether it's that full 3-hour reaction on Patreon, which is crazy, or the cut up version that I posted to YouTube. Either way, I just want to shout out everyone that's commented and been so kind. I see every comment always on every video, and these are just some of the, like, as a collection, some of the best, just most nicest, kindest comments I've ever gotten as a whole and total, and it means a lot to me. I can't say that enough. Like, it's not easy for me. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and it doesn't get any easier to sit up here and do this in front of you guys. It never has been easy, and it doesn't get any easier for somebody like me who just deals with, a ton of anxiety and a ton of imposter syndrome, and just all that kind of stuff. So, like, getting that kind of validation in bulk, like I've gotten with these videos, has just been really nice. It'll always be nice. I'll never get over it. I'll never take it lightly. So, again, just shout out to you guys. Just want to repay the kindness that you've all paid to me very recently. Another thing, too, I'll say about just doing this in general, like listening to these albums for the first time on camera with you guys, is I give these albums what they give me. So the better the album, the more I've got to give to it. The more an album gives to me, the more I can give an album in a video. When albums aren't giving me a lot, then I don't have a ton to give back in return. I say that to say, almost to like give myself less credit, honestly. I think the reason my Taylor videos end up being some of my better videos is because of Taylor Swift. She gives me as much as any artist gives me. She's as generous as any artist is with her bodies of work. There's so much to take in. Say on a Tortured Poets Department, tracks 1 through 16, each and every track, whether I don't even like a track as much as some other tracks, there's still so much to take away from even a track I don't like as much as other tracks. So yeah, it's all Taylor. It's all Taylor. I get so excited when she drops because I just know I'm in for an artist who's putting all of themselves into a body of work, and that way I get to sit down and put all of myself into listening to that body of work. So I know I already made a video for the Tortured Poets Department part 1. I didn't really talk about favorite songs and stuff. Obviously, you can sort of assume what my favorite songs were based off my reactions to the first listen of them. But now that I've listened to the album, I want to say 4 times, including my first reaction, I'm pretty confident with giving you guys, I'm going to give you guys 9 tracks that ended up being my absolute favorite standouts on the album. And again, it is still early. Like, those other tracks could still grow. The other 7 that I don't include in this 9 could absolutely still grow on me and whatnot. That's just how albums work. Sometimes like months and months later, you end up just realizing like, oh, I was not giving that track the attention it deserved. As of this moment, my top 9 are My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, Down Bad, So Long London, But Daddy I Love Him, Guilty as Sin, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, LOML, which might be my favorite on the whole album, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, and Clarabelle, because what a closer. For that part of the project. Those songs I'm just like listening to them on my own for a third and fourth time, and I'm getting so giddy just realizing just how much I'm enjoying these new tracks from Taylor, and it's just such a great feeling to have new music at such a high level. I'll point out too, I know Fortnite is a single. I do think she should release I Can Do It With a Broken Heart as a follow-up single to Fortnite. She could release any of these songs, they'll do well, but I do think that song would make a really great single, in my opinion. All right, the time has come. It's time for the anthology. Let's sit down. Let's enjoy this together. I am excited beyond the word itself. So I'm ready to have a good time here, guys. I have no idea what to expect. I obviously, in my first listen of this project, I obviously ended up using the term rebound a lot. And we all know who that was in reference to. I didn't expect that many songs to be about that person. Majority of the album, it seemed, ended up being about that person. I say rebound, but like the person was also like an original romance before like the 6-year romance. So, rebound's a subjective term. But yeah, like I went into the project expecting, to be honest, a whole project just about this failed 6-year relationship. And that's not what happened. It was largely about this failed expectations from this rebound, along with a little bit of that failed relationship, along with media expectations, along with fan expectations and like fan scrutiny and all that stuff. Yeah, she gave us so much on that first half that I just want to repeat. I have no idea what to expect from the second part. I don't know I don't know if it's like, if we're going to move on from all of those topics to something totally different. I don't know if it's going to be a lot of the same as far as the topics go. I just don't know. I'm ready. Let's do it. Enough stalling, because that's what I'm doing. Let's be honest. The Torture Poets Department, the Anthology. I'm about to look at these tracks for the first time. All right, got the track list up here. Another exciting new event in my personal life. Got this, the vinyl. It was Record Store Day very recently, like a couple days ago, and I went out, got a few Record Store Day vinyls, grabbed Cowboy Carter, Noah Khan, a couple Noah Khan vinyls that were Record Day specials, but the Tortured Poets Department little personal note from Taylor that came with it that's also Record Day specific, so that was really fun. Onto the album, guys. I'm looking at the track list for the first time. I'm seeing album's about one less song. It's about the same length. It might be a couple minutes shorter than the first part. We'll see how long this video ends up being. But a lot of names on here. Chloe, Sam, Sophia, Cassandra, Peter, Robin. Like, it's a lot of names on this album. Not one of those names strike me with any familiarity. So I'm a little concerned to start off. As far as like, stuff is going to be flying over my head, isn't it? We'll see. If it does, then I'll just try and enjoy the music best I can. And the lyrics are going to hit as well. We know that. Just we'll see about the story part of it all. All right, I'm ready. The Black Dog is the first track on the anthology. Let's start it up.
I am someone who until recent events you shared your secrets with, in your location you forgot to turn it off. And so I watched as you walk into some bar called the Black Dog.
Oh.
You pierced new holes in my heart, you forgot to turn it off.
You forgot to turn it off. She repeats the fact that you used to share locations, forgot to turn it off. She was checking out your location. You walked to this bar called the Black Dog, piercing holes in my heart. I love that line. And then bring it back to like you forgot to turn it off. I love the soft piano. I love when she sets the stage for her storytelling that way, because you can't be anything other than locked into the story you're about to be told. Along with the soft vocal delivery.
I am someone who until recent events you shared your secrets with, in your location you forgot to turn.
I like that too, because like you used to share your secrets, you used to share your location. Those are also your secrets, right? Like if you share your location with somebody, that's a big thing to share with somebody. You know, family, yeah, like I get that. But with somebody that's not your family, like even with a partner, it's a big choice. If y'all aren't married particularly, and I like I'm not judging anybody that shares location with anybody. Like I get it. Like it's levels to everything. Everyone has a different relationship. Some people just need that sort of reassurance, and some people it's just like a straight up safety thing as well. That's part of your secrets. Like part of my like where I am is secretive sometimes. I don't want to share that shit with everybody. It's just like the way of my life, right? And if you share that with somebody, you are in essence sharing your secrets while also, Taylor says, sharing other secrets of your life. So we're just sharing everything basically. So like already off the bat, like a couple lines in, these two people are incredibly close.
How you don't miss me in the black dog when someone plays the starting line and you jump up.
I'm picturing her with the Mortars map. If you know, you know. I just don't understand how you don't miss me. Yeah, it's a place we spent a lot of time with together, and that would crush me if like we were so close that we shared locations with each other, and now I'm checking your location, and I assume we're no longer, as close, obviously, because of the situation in the song. And I'm seeing you go to that place that we used to frequent a lot together. Like, I would do nothing but spend that time thinking about everything, every moment we've ever shared together. Because, like, locations are very sentimental in that way. Like, if you have an attachment to a location that's tied to somebody else, you can't ever go to that location and not think of that person. It's almost impossible. So she's like, how are you going there and not thinking of me?
Old habits die.
Okay, oh, that's different. Lingering around younger girls who just they're not gonna get it. They're not gonna know the starting line.
He said I needed a brave man, then proceeded to play him until I believed it too. And it kills me. Do you hate me? Was it hazing for a cruel fraternity I pledged? And I still mean it. Old habits die. Scream.
I love that part of the song that kicks in. It is Jack. I like that addition to the song because it takes this slower paced, a slower tempoed song and just gives it this boost of energy. Also around the time that the song gets a boost of energy lyrically, because she's saying like old habits die, screaming. You said I needed a brave man, then you proceeded to play him. Like you were just like playing this role. It's not actually who you were. So there's more gaslighting going on. We're carrying on some of the themes of the first half of the project. The hazing thing is really smart for a cruel fraternity, and it's like was this like were you hazing me? Like was it all just a fucking game from the start? Like did you mean any of it? Like were you intentionally putting me through all these things? I don't get it. Like do you hate me? Like legit, do you hate me?
6 weeks of breathing clean air. I still miss the smoke.
Oh shit.
You making fun of me with some
shit.
esoteric joke.
All right, so we got a smoker here, right? We got a heavy smoker. 6 weeks. That's such a smart line to like depict the amount of time it's been since you haven't been around this person because they're a smoker, but now you've been breathing clean air because you're not around them anymore and they smoke a lot. It's just so fucking clever to write that. It gives me an idea of who we're talking about here.
Tail between your legs, you're leaving. I still can't believe it. 'Cause old habits die. Scream.
Oh, come on, Taylor. Come on.
'Cause old habits die. Scream.
She's so smart. She's so smart. She's just so fucking smart to like talk about. First of all, I love how she tied in the dog, like with your tail between your legs at the end of the song. It's very clear that the black dog is a bar in the beginning of the song, but she still finds a way to tie that into the song and turn them out to be the black dog in all of this. But then that old habits die screaming and how she whispers which is, you know, just so intentional to whisper the screaming as opposed to just like utterly release the screaming. It just shows the pain that she was going through. Like, she's really fucking going through it. She wants to burn her house, get a what was it, an exorcist, a priest to come and exorcise her demons. Even if I die screaming, she's fucking going through it. If there's any song across all these tracks so far, including the first half of the album, that depicts how badly Taylor was going through it post this situation not working out for her, it's The Black Dog, which is a crazy way to start off. It kind of like shows you that we might be talking about the same people on the second half of this album, but we're still going to depict new emotions somehow in songs that sound different as well, because it's one thing I was also wondering. And this song is excellently produced and put together. I really like the song a lot. It's going to be like definitely one of the ones that end up in my top whatever when we get to the end of it. All right, let's go to I'm Gonna Get You Back, which is all one word.
Research, you know the price going in. And I'll tell you one thing, honey, I can tell when somebody still wants me. Come clean. Whether I'm gonna be your wife or gonna smash up your bike, I haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna get you back. I hear the whispers in your eyes, will make you wanna think twice. You'll find that you were never not mine. You're mine. I'm an Aston Martin that you steered straight into the ditch.
Okay, first of all, this is an interesting song so far. This is different than anything I've heard from her before, which is interesting because Jack is, again, the producer on here, which I'm waiting for more of the Aaron change. Like, I'm kind of checking song by song, waiting for, like, the Aaron change of things, because I know that he's also on here, and I am a sucker for a lot of Aaron Dessner produced tracks. I love the line about you did your research going in, or you did your research, you knew the price going in. You just, like, I'm fucking Taylor Swift. I'm a researchable person, basically, and you knew the price going in. Brings it back to, like, I'm an Aston Martin, which connects with the price, if you want to call it that, but also the fact that she compares herself to, like, the highest level luxury of vehicle and person. And I don't think she's even talking about luxury, like, financially. Like, yeah, she's very rich and wealthy, but I think she just means I'm, like, as good a woman as you're gonna get, and you steered me straight into the ditch, and then you ran and hit is the next line, which is again, things aren't going her way.
Whether I'm gonna be your wife or gonna smash up your bike, I haven't decided yet.
What?
But I'm gonna get you back. Whether I'm gonna flip you off or
this whole, like, I'm either gonna be your wife or smash up your bike. Haven't decided which one, but I'm gonna get you back. But it speaks to, like, a double. Like, I'm going to get you back. We're going to get back together. Or I'm going to get revenge. Like, one or the other is going to happen. It speaks to the complexity of real emotions, like, post, like, the grievance of, like, grieving a relationship, a lost relationship. Like, that's real. You can be incredibly mad at the same time as you can be incredibly missing the person. You can miss the person with all of you while at the same time, and, like, miss everything you had together while at the same time be just incredibly angry about what they did to you and want to get them back. It's just such a smart, the more I'm thinking about that part, like, writing a song like that, the more I'm actually enjoying the song.
say you got somebody else, say I got someone too. Even if it's handcuffed, I'm leaving here with you. Bygones will be bygone, eras fading into gray. All the pieces, but still wanna play the game. Pick your poison, babe. I'm
Poison either way. Oh.
You'll find that you were never mine.
That line.
I'm gonna get you back.
That line, I don't know why that line is so funny to me. You'll find that you were never not mine, which she speaks to like we're gonna be in handcuffs if that's what it takes. I'm leaving here with you one way or the other. Whether that's like we're gonna be together again or I get my revenge, it's gonna happen where we're involved in some sort of way. I'm the was it a Rolls Royce? I can't even say. Or was it an Aston Martin? I don't really know. I don't have Taylor Swift money, so I don't know much about those kinds of cars. Aston Martin, that's what it was. When at first, I didn't know how to feel about it, but only because I think the tempo was throwing me off a little bit and some of the production choices. Then I started getting into like what the song was about, and then I think I totally bought in. I think that on re-listens, this one's going to jump out a lot just because this song feeds you a lot of different things. Vocally, Taylor does she does that like when she does the whisper. I hear the whispers in your eyes, the way she delivers that, like in her upper range. Some of the quicker cadence stuff she does in the chorus. I think it's going to be like a really fun song on re-listens because of all the things she gives you vocally and like a lot of the production choices. All right, we're going to keep it going. Having a good time so far. The Albatross, track 3. That's the bird, right? That's the big bird, but also like it's something bad. Like an albatross is something bad.
They tried to warn him about her. Cross your thoughtless heart. Only liquor anoints you.
Ooh.
She's the albatross. She is here to destroy you.
This is so folklore.
Wise men once said, one bad seed kills the garden. Ways worse hell than a stranger. She's the death you chose. You're in terrible danger.
Wow.
And when that sky rains fire on you, then you'll persona non grata.
I did not expect her to be painted out as the albatross in this song. Like this huge bird just come to drag you down. Like an albatross also by definition is something that's like something in your way, something meant to drag you down, just something bad. Like it's not a good sign. It's like you don't want to come across an albatross in your life. And her being depicted as the albatross in the song is not what I expected. And when she keeps saying wise men, she's about to do it for the third time. Wise men, they tried to warn him about her. Cross your thoughtless hearts. I love that. Like, y'all are just thoughtless. Lock me up in towers, but I visit in your dreams. And they tried to warn you about me. They tried to get away from me. But I'm still coming to haunt those dreams of yours. Or like it might not even be haunt. It might be like I'd visit in your dreams and like a you can't stop thinking about me.
Wise men once read fake news and they believed it. Jackals raised their hackles. You couldn't conceive it. Crossed my thoughtless heart. Spread my wings like a parachute. I'm the albatross. I swept in at the rescue. The devil that you know looks now more like an angel. I'm the life you chose and all this terrible danger.
First of all, I just love the more like the more that these choruses or these certain parts of the song come in, they really start to just get ingrained in your brain and they become more and more enjoyable on like the second and third parts of the song. Like when she comes here and she hits me with right here.
My thoughtless heart, spread my wings like a parachute. I'm the albatross.
So enjoyable, just musically speaking and sonically speaking. That's just so enjoyable, and the melody of it and everything. But I also love the flip that she does. She's still the albatross, but you guys had her all wrong. Like she was painted out to be this devil and this terrible thing that you should stay away from. Like and you reach the point where like now at the end of it, this devil, the devil that you know, because that's how it's been depicted to you. Now she's here to save you. Like she spreads her wings like a parachute. A parachute, it's not like this scary looking thing. A parachute is literally meant to save you from death. I'm the albatross, I swept in at the rescue. This devil now looks more like an angel. I'm the life you chose and all this terrible danger. All that stuff that you were thinking like you had it all wrong. You had me all wrong. So that wise men once read fake news and they believed it. That's just like, You have to, again, you have her all wrong. Like, stop reading shit on Twitter and stop reading the news. Stop listening to, whoever on YouTube that is, just talking shit about me that doesn't know me. Like, whoever's got, like, just able to put something online and talk about me in a negative way without having ever met me or knowing anything about me. What are you listening to? Type deal. Which has been a lot of Taylor's career. Desi! My guy Desner. This song was very folklore. It's like the very folklore Evermore era, which made me very happy. I feel like I was living in a time capsule during this song. This song is definitely gonna be another one that I feel like I think all three of these tracks are gonna end up being in my favorites by the time we get to the end of this. Just really enjoyable songs, man, because they had so much there was so much to take in from the songs, just from like a narrative standpoint. That I just feel like once you just start listening and getting lost in the actual song, man, they're gonna hit different. It's different. Chloe or Sam or Sophia, I don't know who y'all are, but maybe I'll find out in this next track. Oh, or Marcus. There's another one. Or Marcus. Another name. Who's Marcus? Another name I don't know, but we'll find out now.
Your hologram stumbled into my apartment, hands in the hair of somebody in darkness, named Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus, and I just watched it happen as the decade would play us for fools.
Okay. I'm getting that warm feeling in my body where the goosebumps are about to arrive. I think I'm gonna love this song. It starts off immediately that it doesn't even give me a chance to breathe. Let's start that song over again.
Your hologram stumbled into my apartment, hands in the hair of somebody in darkness, named Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus, and I just watched it happen as the decade would play.
Oh, hold up. Can you just move past that? Talk about a whole decade? Like, can we talk about the beginning of what Taylor's envisioning here? Not the actual person, but a version of this person. I mean, like a digital version of this. Maybe she saw them on TV. Either way, she's seeing this person, but not the actual person. They stumbled into her apartment like she's seeing something. Hands in the hair of somebody in darkness. She's seeing Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Mark. She's just throwing names out there. She's saying that she's seeing them get down with somebody, because why else would the hands be in the hair in the darkness? Like, she's seeing them in her apartment and she's seeing them, get it on with somebody else. The Marcus throw in there is interesting because she's hinting that this former partner of hers is probably bisexual. Right, because like you could be you could be hooking up with a Chloe, you could be hooking up with a Sam, or a Sam could go both ways, but like a Sophia could even be a Marcus. I just watched it happen. What can you do if it's a hologram? Feels like she's just like haunted by her own brain, like her own brain is attacking her. Like it just feels like she's just like sitting at home and she just can't get over her own thoughts. Like she's just envisioning shit. Like that's how like haunted she is by this past situation. I mean, she wrote 30 plus songs about this, so yeah.
As the decade would play us for fools, and you saw my bones out with somebody new who seemed like he would have bullied you in school.
Yeah, so the decade would play us for fools, because we know that this person was somebody Taylor was interested way back in the day. They got all the stories about the rings. I talked about this in the first album, right? The rings, and they have a long history together. And they revisited that history and tried to actually give it a shot recently after her long relationship didn't work out. So it's a decade of the decade is playing us for fools, because we were fools over the course of a decade to think that we could have made this work, or clearly at least I was. And that's a hell of a line that like clearly lets us know who we're talking about here.
If you wanna break my cold, cold heart, just say I loved you the way that you were.
What?
If you wanna tear my world apart, just say you've always wondered. You said some things that I can't unabsorb.
Yeah, you said that. I can't unabsorb that shit. What are you talking about? If you want to break my... Yeah, just say I loved you the way that you were. Why would you say that to somebody that fucking is so into you? I mean, why would you say that to anybody? But somebody that's clearly so into you, why would you say I loved you the way that you were? saying I don't like this version of you, which is fine if like this version of somebody is not a good person, if they've gone from like a good person to a bad person. But I would imagine Taylor's done a lot of legwork in her life to become a better person. So I doubt she would ever want to hear like, I prefer the old you. I loved you the way that you were. Like something changed and she's being told that she, by this person that, by the way, she's in love with or really wants to be with, that they prefer the old version of her. And then if you want to tear my world apart, just say you've always wondered about like the two of us. Like you can't say that if that's what. Yeah, it's gotta, like, because that would tear her world apart. Like, if you say, yeah, man, that's some whack shit. Like, if you're communicating with somebody who you know has feelings for you, and you say to them, yeah, I've always wondered, like, about the two of us, but you're non-committal, you can't just say that to somebody who you know has feelings for you and not make some sort of commitment beyond those words. Like, again, I feel like I've said this at some point. I know Taylor understands this. Words carry a lot of weight. We can't just go around saying shit, man. We cannot do that. We cannot just say things. Words mean something. Words mean a lot. And when you go around just throwing out words like they mean nothing, you're going to hurt people. And that's what happened here. You're going to tear people's worlds apart. Taylor had her world torn apart because somebody didn't understand the gravity of their words. You said some things I can't unabsorb. That's it right there. Some people cannot unabsorb your words. Watch your words.
Said some things that I can't unabsorb. You turned me into an idea of sorts.
See right there, man. That's it. Yeah. If I've always wondered literally does paint them out to be an idea. It's so non-committal. Again, like it paints them out to be an entire idea. And it doesn't lift up the not just the idea, but it doesn't pay any real credence or it doesn't pay any actual legitimacy to the two of you potentially being together when you paint them out to be an idea. An idea is something that I might go to the gym tomorrow, but I'm kind of non-committal to that right this second. I don't know. Like, that's just an idea, and it just shows in general my lack of commitment to a strict gym schedule. Just like this person showed their lack of commitment to Taylor by painting her out as an idea. This is fucking top tier songwriting right now.
Me, but you needed drugs more and I couldn't. You needed me, but you needed drugs more and I couldn't. Watch it happen. I changed into goddesses, villains and fools, changed plans and lovers and outfits and rules.
There's a lot going on there. I couldn't watch it happen. Like I couldn't watch you and your drug problem. I couldn't do it. You needed me, but you needed drugs more. Like you just prioritized drugs over me. I couldn't watch it happen because not only did I care about you so much, like two things. I couldn't watch you tear yourself down because of your drug problem because I cared about you, but I also couldn't watch having drugs prioritized over me. I just couldn't, like, that was hurting me as well. The way she doubles, like, so subtly is fucking, like, it's just, she's just above all as a songwriter. But then this whole, I changed into goddesses, villains, and fools, changed plans and lovers and outfits and rules. What? There's a lot going, all to outrun my desertion of you. And you just watched it. Come on, if you want to break, she goes back into if you want to break my cold, cold heart. So like, I changed into goddesses, villains, and fools. Oh, this is fucking crazy, right? Because we talked earlier in the song about the decade. The decade played us for fools. So I feel like she's depicting the entire decade. Goddesses, villains, and fools could play into just her different eras. It could just play into her eras, like the villains could be depicting the Reputation era. The goddesses could be depicting, I don't know, maybe Lover. I feel like there's several eras that could be depicting. Fools, I'm not sure. That just could be depicting her relationship after, the several year relationship. Changed Lovers, all like very much depicts that relationship, but it also is a subtle shout out to the Lover project. Outfits and rules. I mean, outfits that's just what she does on tour, right? She's always changing outfits. Also, just like as a regular part of life, you're always changing outfits. Change plans, rules. I don't know what she means by rules, but like, I think she's just shouting out the course of time as she went through this decade, trying to move on beyond this person and the chance of being together with them. I want to keep saying the idea of them being together, but I'm not going to use that because I don't want to trigger Taylor, like them being an idea, hurt her. So let me not use that word because, again, words carry weight. I just love the way she depicts time passing over the course of her life, her career, and that's how she outran the desertion of this person.
If the glint in my eye trace the depths of your side on a passage in time, back to the moment I crashed into you, like so many wrecks do, to impair. If the glint in my eye trace the depths of your side on a passage in time, back to the moment I crashed into you, like so many wrecks do, to impaired by my youth.
Okay.
To know what to do. So if I sell my apartment.
Okay, there's so much packed into these like back to back lines and all over this song that it's a lot to take in on a first listen. And I know I missed a ton of stuff earlier in the song, especially with like the changed plans, lovers, outfits. There's something with the rules that I don't like. Plans, there's something there. There's stuff in there that I know you guys are gonna let me know about. This is also like equally as genius because if the glints in my eyes she's taught. First of all, the too impaired by my youth wraps it all up perfectly in a way that makes it all easy to understand because she's talking about when they were younger. She's just talking about like I was just too young to be able to understand what was going on. If I was a little older, maybe I could have figured out that like this should have been something that was never going to work out to begin with. And I know that she ended up going back to the person, right? Because we have several songs about that too. But I feel like that's just human. It's just human to, especially, again, I called it a rebound for a reason. Like after you get out of like a really long relationship, sometimes you do end up going back to what, like not only what you're comfortable with, but like the what could have been with somebody. So yeah, that's just a very human thing to do. But speaking to like her youth, yeah, sometimes you're too young to know what's going on around you, to pick up signs. Like so if the glint in my eye traced the depths of your side, first of all, the way she writes that. But if I just picked up at all on the size that you were given, like your body language around me was just shit. I should have known that you didn't want it the way that I wanted it. Back to the moment I crashed into you, again, speaks to the beginning, the moment we crashed, like I crashed into you. Also, like so many wrecks do, she's calling it a wreck. Me crashing into you was a wreck. It wasn't a good thing. It was a wreck. Too impaired by my youth. Okay, no, pens. Get out of here, fucking pens. That's all I got. Those are all the pens I got. They're on my desk. I picked them all up off the floor from the other video. Now they're gone forever. She's impaired by her youth. Like when you're impaired by alcohol, you get into a wreck, but it's not alcohol, it's her youth that's impairing her. That I didn't even pick that up until I was talking over these lines. Okay, she's impaired by her youth as opposed to alcohol. That's fucking insane. The crash, she was impaired, and that caused the crash and this wreck. That's just a crazy set of lines. And all she had to do was just like read the body language of this person. And she and perhaps she wouldn't have even gotten into the wreck. But she was impaired by her youth. Again.
Back to the moment I crashed into you, like so many wrecks do, too impaired by my youth.
Yeah, it's of course.
What to do? So if
of course.
I sell my apartment,
you're so young.
You have some kids with an internet starlet. Will that make your memory fade from this scarlet maroon? Like
there's so much in this song. This is crazy. Like if I sell my apartment, obviously my apartment holds memories of the two of us. And that might be why in the very beginning, she's in her apartment picturing this person with somebody else. So it's a shout out to the beginning of the song. But then she also does a shout out to Maroon off of Midnights, right? That's got to be a shout out to that.
Never happened. Could it be enough to just float in your orbit? Can we watch our phantoms like watching wild horses? Cool.
It's the second, the Phantoms line comes back. The Phantoms line was, I don't remember the song, but it was in the first half. She's talking about the Phantoms dancing on the terrace, being disappointed in the two of them, like her lying in bed. Whatever. I remember the line very clear. I just remember the song. That was one of my favorite lines on the whole album. She brings the Phantoms back into play. She's really feeling this phantom word and this phantom concept, which I'm in love with.
Say you'll always wonder.
Oh, I love the way way she sings Wonder, but also like if you want to break my cold, cold heart, say you loved me. I feel like that might have happened. Like he might have came back around after all these years, after all this time. You want to come up and now you want to say you loved me? That destroys me, because why didn't you say it before? Because I was just an idea to you, that's why. Say you'll always wonder? You'll always wonder? Well, you wouldn't have had to wonder if you showed the level of commitment that I was ready to show. You wouldn't have to say you'll always wonder. Don't say you'll always wonder. Just don't even say that to me. I'm starting to get annoyed. Let's finish this song. I'm feeling annoyed for Taylor. Okay, this is an absolute 4 for 4, and that one's probably my favorite song. I'll do the end track, next track.
We hereby conduct this post-mortem. He was a hothouse flower to my outdoorsman. Our maladies were such we could not cure them. And so a touch that was my birthright became foreign. Soon they'll go home to their husbands, smug cause they know they can trust him, then feverishly calling their cousins. Guess who we ran into at the shops, walking in circles like she was lost. How did it end?
I love her playing the other people that have ran into her or ran into. First of all, I like to learn the right steps to different dances. That's a great line. One thing that I don't, because like she's depicting, really wonderfully depicting this relationship that didn't work out. Right? Like, how did it end? I love the, like, we hereby conduct this post-mortem. They had some issues, and their death was pretty much inevitable once the maladies came about. But, like, a touch that was my birthright became foreign. So, like, she had a birthright to his touch. Soon they'll come home. They'll go home to their husbands, smug, because they know they can trust him, feverishly calling their cousins. Guess who we ran into at the shops, walking in circles like she was lost? Didn't you hear? They call it all off. Like, you're just having some Desperate Housewives type imagery of, like, them just, like, getting home and gossiping their little tails off about, you know, the demise of Taylor's relationship.
Death rattle, breathing, silenced as the soul was leaving. The deflation of our dreaming, leaving me bereft and reeling. My beloved ghost and me, sitting in a tree. D-Y-I-N-G.
Yeah.
It's happening again, friends, but I still don't know. How did it end?
Really like leaving the song off just without understanding. It just shows how Taylor's feeling. It gives it lends itself to the rest of the songs in this album, right? Like, it gives more just credibility to Taylor's feelings all throughout the album, because it's kind of like she's still feeling and struggling with it throughout this album, you know? Not like to this day in real life, but certainly throughout this writing process. She certainly, because if she knew herself in this song, then you probably don't get a lot of the rest of the songs. And she kind of speaks to that here when she says, it's happening again. I can't pretend like I understand. Come one, come all. It's happening again. Like, everyone's going to see that this is, because she's in the public eye and all that, to say the least. That whole sitting in a tree, D-Y-I-N-G, to play off of the, kiss, sitting in a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N-G, but this is like the polar opposite. My beloved ghost and me sitting in the tree. The deflation of our dreaming, leaving me bereft and she said, I mean, this is the Tortured Poets department, right? So we got to get poetic in here. Deflation of our dreaming, just everything that we thought we could be, just gone, like just deflated, and that's left me bereft and reeling. Like, I'm struggling. I'm just very much struggling with this outcome that has happened, like the fact that we died, and now post-mortem, it's after death, and I'm trying to process it all. And I just love that a song asking how it ended, dealing with the processing, the grieving, it ends with you just still not knowing, because that's incredibly human. All right, it's another great written song. So High School, next track. It's funny that it's like, this is so high. She opens up, I feel so high school every time I look at you. Something about this opening musically is very reminiscent of like maybe an earlier Taylor Swift track earlier in her career. I feel like I could be watching One Tree Hill and this song would have popped up. Started playing as an episode was playing. Like, it's just, this is reminiscent of like high school times. Certainly, if you're like Taylor's age.
In the blink of a crinkle, and I am sinking our fingers entwined, cheeks pink in the twinkling lights from smoking your jokes all the night. The brink of a wrinkle in time, bittersweet 16 suddenly. I'm watching American Pie with you on a Saturday night.
Okay, so this is more high school talk, right? Because American Pie came out in 1999, I want to say. You're in high school watching American Pie, or you're watching it nowadays, and either way, like, it makes you think about high school, which is when most of us watched American Pie. I like the melody of this. It feels very bright. It feels very positive in a way that I'm not expecting to carry on.
My partner isn't that sweet. Then pull me to the backseat. No one's ever had me, not like you.
This is so reminiscent of an older Taylor Swift music. It's so kind of like in that Fearless self-titled, more like that Fearless Speak Now era. And it's giving me so much of like high school Taylor vibes. And I think she is just like reliving the feeling of a high school love with this person and high school emotions. And I love that I feel so high school every time I look at you. But look at you, I can't help it, because look at you.
You know how to ball, I know Aristotle. Brand new, full throttle. Teach me while your bros play Grand Theft Auto.
Hold on. Is this about Travis? Because obviously Travis knows how to ball, right? I know Aristotle. You know how to ball. That's fucking hilarious because it speaks to the differences between the two of them. Like, they're very different people. Like, their interests are very different. But I think that's fun. I mean, that makes for like a great relationship oftentimes, because now you have a lot of, like, when you get with somebody that you have so much in common with, your starting point is already right there. When you get with somebody that you have almost like not a lot in common with as far as interests go, you're starting from here. So to get to this point, there's so much legwork to be done that you just get to know each other so well, and you can get that much closer over that kind of process. That makes me think about their relationship already, like her being Aristotle, him being an athlete, professional athlete. She's speaking to like what they both do for a living. And yeah, this whole I feel so high school being with you. It's just like, first of all, it's very vulnerable, because you think about what she said earlier in this album about her youth impairing her, right? That's scary. It's scary to feel high school about somebody when you're a grown ass person, because when you're high school, your youth will impair you. Like, it's not always the most logical of thoughts. You're just operating off your heart and nothing else. You're not really using a lot of your mind. So she's just saying this person really swept her up at a time when she was very vulnerable, probably because she just high school fell into it. I love the fact that they're watching American Pie. Get my car door. Isn't that sweet? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was a thing, right? He was getting the car door. I remember seeing that on Twitter somewhere. Okay, yeah, it was a Travis. Shout out to Travis. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of his podcast, him as a player, and in turn him as a person. You know, having gotten to know him as a person, like via that podcast and whatnot. It's really, really, as a huge fan of Taylor at this point, just really warms my heart. Okay, we got a fucking positive, happy love song that's gonna make me enjoy it that much more. Hold on. Touch me while your bros play Grand Theft Auto. So, like, what's the situation here? Like, we're like at his house. He's got all the boys over. They're playing Grand Theft Auto. They're like sitting on the couch, and he's just got his hands all over her, like, while the boys are playing Grand Theft Auto, which is very high school, by the way. Like, that is like, but at the same time, I'll speak to Travis. I'm a grown man, much like Travis. That Grand Theft Auto, it was relevant in high school. Let me tell you, it's still relevant now. You still catch me playing Grand Theft Auto till this day. So as so high school as that might be, I'm still playing it to this day. So, like, if that's what they were doing, then don't judge him. Clearly, he wasn't even playing. He was all up on her. So yeah, this is a really fun song.
Swear, scouts, honor, you know what she wanted, and boy, you got her. Ran.
You knew what you wanted, boy, you got her. Yeah, the bracelets and shit, right? He made it happen. My guy willed it into existence. Yeah, this is all she's crinkling eye. Yeah, this is all. This is like straight up Travis cheeks. Yeah, he does get like pretty rose-colored cheeks and twinkling lights over like the stadium lights and all that. Yeah. I love this. Hold on, is that? Whoa, wait, that's still kind of high school, but holy shit, we just got very adult. I did not pick up on that earlier. I'm trying to stifle my sighs. Where are his hands? Where are Travis's hands in this situation? Your friends are around, so be quiet. Let's keep it down. We gotta keep it down. Your friends are right there playing Grand Theft Auto, and he's just like, I can't help myself. I gotta get these hands in places that are gonna make you sigh. We'll call it a sigh because it rhymes. But there's certain other words you could have used. Okay, I fucking love this song. Oh man, I love this song. It's so youthful, but at the same time, like, that's real. Like, sometimes you find this new love, and sometimes it just makes you feel youthful, especially like some of these I love how the activities in the song probably actually happen, as far as the boys playing Grand Theft Auto and watching American Pie and like talking about jokes and stuff. It all feels so youthful, and the song sounds youthful as well. But then she mixes little things in that like truth, dare, spin, bottles, like things like that play to like a more youthful time. I'm sure that stuff wasn't actually happening, but it's just really smart to include in the song. And at the same time, like, there's nothing like that feeling of falling for somebody in the way you would do without any inhibitions when you were that young. Being able to feel that again at an older age when you would have your guard up because of the experiences you've gone through from high school till now, that can still happen. And when that does happen, that's gotta be such a wonderful feeling and scary as fuck at the same time. But I'm glad that happened for Taylor, and she depicted it so wonderfully in this song. I just love the sound of the song. It makes me happy. It makes me very happy. She's so happy in the song. How could you not be happy listening to this? You just gotta be, I don't know, a miserable person. I fucking love this song, man. I also love Grand Theft Auto and and American Pie and football. And I feel like she made this song for a lot of the bros. But funny enough, I also know Aristotle, and I also love the other side of things as well. So like, I feel like Taylor she could make any song, and it's gonna be for me specifically. Okay, that's great. That's really great. I love this a lot. Okay, I hate it here. Next track.
Tell me something awful, like you are a poet trapped inside the body of a finance guy. Tell me all your secrets. All you'll ever be is my eternal consolation prize. I hate it here, so I will go to secret gardens in my mind. People need a key to get to. The only one is mine. I read about it in a book when I was a precocious child. No.
She's just not enjoying her time right now. I laughed because like that line it's so obvious. It's like the Jehovah's Witness suit line from the first half of this project. Like, you're a poet trapped inside the body of a finance guy. Yeah, we know what she's talking about. All you'll ever be is my eternal consolation prize. What? Because he was the rebound. That's kind of a consolation prize. Like, he was someone she could run to after this other situation didn't work. But it's still just a consolation prize. Like, a consolation prize is something you give to someone who's already lost.
My friends used to play a game where we would pick a decade we wish we could live in instead of this. I'd say the 1830s, but without all the racists and getting married off for the highest bid.
Okay, that's a really interesting line for many reasons. Played a game where we wish we could pick a decade, or where we could pick a decade we wish we could live in. I mean, the whole concept of the song is like, I just hate where I am right now. Like, I hate it here. So you include this part of the song where you used to play this game with your friends where, oh, if we could live in any decade besides the one we're in right now, what would you pick? Which I think is like a normal game. I think I've played that before at some point. It's like a regular, like if you Googled like questions to ask friends, you know, nothing better to do, that might be one that comes up. So you pick the decade. She picks the 1830s. She points out, because the first thing I would think of is like, oh yeah, like 1830s, probably not the best time to be alive for a certain group of people. She says without all the racists, so she makes sure that she mentions that. And getting married off for the highest bid, because of course, women were going through it as well. Yeah, I feel like she's just 1830s. That's like the Victorian era, right? Like poetry, Victorian houses, which are named after like that Victorian era. But it just like, it makes sense that she would pick the 1830s without all the racists. I'm gonna move past that because like I know what she means. So
lucid dreams like electricity, the current flies through me, and in my fantasies I rise above it. And way up there, I actually love it. I hate it here, so I will go to secret gardens in my mind. People need a key to get to. The only one is mine.
Yeah. Only I feel like all this is like inside her head. Like she's either like, it's either a place where only she has access to, which makes me think it's a place in her head. Because when you say like, oh, the only person that has this key to get to this place is me, because it's all up here, baby. Because everywhere else fucking sucks. This place made me feel worth, like, she just spent a lot of time in a place that just she couldn't stand. And I don't know if man, it could just represent the whole relationship potentially, like as opposed to like an actual location. It just could represent the entire situation that she put herself through with, this person that she thought she could make something happen with. Her only escape post that was creating a place in her imagination that she could escape to. It sounds like potentially. I mean, she said like, in my fantasies I rise above it. Way up there, I actually love it. Secret gardens in my mind, like only I have the key to all of it.
Quick, tell me something awful, like you are a poet trapped inside the body of a finance guy.
I feel like this song might have to grow on me. I don't not like it. I just don't like it as much as all the other songs I've gotten so far. Like those songs are like on a more elite level, and this was more, I had to like absorb it, and I'm probably gonna have to do so on at least a second listen. It might hit me totally different on a second listen. I do like the concept a lot. I love that whole like, I hate it here. Like we all fucking deal with depression and being scorned and just going through the lows of life. And you often feel that very specific feeling of, I hate it here. If you could escape, often that escape is in your own mind. You just have to get away through fantasy, whatever that is for like that. Man, that's why I love media, because media is that escape. Media is, or like books or video games or literal fantasy worlds where like she talks about like lucid dreams, and in her fantasy she's rising above it all. She actually loves it up there. Secret gardens in her mind, just like. It just, the whole idea of escaping reality into your own fantasy, and that could be multiple things for whoever you are, it depends, but just like escaping reality at all is very relatable. And I also like that the song sounds so kind of fairy tale magical like, because that lends itself more to the fantasy of escaping reality, just the sound of that. So I dig that. Song also gave me more of like that Folklore Evermore era, which plays into like more of the fairy tale, fantasy elements. Okay, let's move on to Thank You, aIMee, with capital K, capital I-M, which makes me think of I am like instant message. But K and I-M is Kim. Thank you. She's saying, who's aIMee? Is she saying thank you, Kim? But who's a Kim? Kim. I'm trying to spell this out on the fly here in real time. I apologize. Thank you, aIMee. Kim sticking out. Maybe it'll make more sense as we go along. I only know one Kim that is in the Taylor Swift universe, or was. I don't know why, but I can't get the Britney Spears song out of my head. If You Seek aIMee, I think it's called. But yeah, we'll listen to this one and see what this one's about.
In a picture my hometown, there's a bronze spray tan statue of you, and a plaque underneath it that threatens to push me down the stairs at our school. And
the song's about Kim Kardashian, right? Because the Kim is obviously sticking out. And that's what I was wondering, because I don't know any other one in the, orbit of Taylor Swift. And yeah, like, there's the bronze spray tan statue of you is, it's like a shout out to that directly.
And a plaque underneath it that threatens to push me down the stairs at our school, and it was always...
Yeah, and that's kind of the bullying aspect of Kim a little bit there.
All that time you were throwing punches, I was building something, and I can't forgive the way you made me feel. Screamed fuck you, aIMee, to the night sky as the blood was gushing, but I can't forget the way you made me heal.
Oh, like that. I can't forgive the way you made me feel, but I can't forget the way you made me heal. Still not forgiving, but it was almost worth going through all of it to an extent, because I'll never forget the way you made me heal. The healing experience of what you made me go through was one that changed me as a person. And I will never forget that.
And it wasn't a fair fight or a clean kill each time that aIMee stomped across my grave.
Oh, each time she stomped across my grave. Alright, I'm pretty sure aIMee is just, especially looking at the spelling in the lyrics, it's just like it's like a pseudonym. Like, it's just a name she's using. It doesn't give her all this power by not using her name and just using this fake name, but also being clever enough to like do the I am and the K and the fuck, because I still want to say, like, I was screaming fuck you, Kim, to the night sky. And you can make that out if you read my lyrics and see what's capitalized. But I'm just going to use this name aIMee because it doesn't give you all this power in my song, even though I know damn well you know who I'm talking about. Sorry, that stomped across my grave line is, man, because I was already down, and you just took, and I didn't know about this. I only know about this because I listen to these albums, and you guys leave me all these comments about stuff that I didn't know anything about. Obviously, I didn't know what a lot of these songs were about. Leaking of the video, right, of the conversation between Taylor and Kanye. It's just like just hitting someone like she's already down. The song's already out. It already makes her look terrible. But then you leak the video. Like, it's just like stomping all over her grave. Like she just gotta hit a girl while she's down, right? Like, real, just not a girl's girl, we'll say.
I built a legacy which you
Facts.
can't
Fact.
undo.
That's a fact.
But when I count the scars, there's a moment of truth that there wouldn't be this if there hadn't been you.
That's a hell of a thing to not only realize but come out and say, because it's two things, right? Like, it is giving her a little bit of this power to say that, like, I've gotten this far and you're a small part of it. Like, you're like all these scars, you're one of the scars, and it's the reason why I'm here today. It's just really self-aware and grown, though, to talk about your healing journey. She talks about her healing journey in this song, and she'll never forget that, or that's why, part of why she's here today. All of the traumas and the things we go through that are, just negatives in our life are a result of the buildup and the stronger parts of ourselves. Like, that's just a direct result of how we grow as people and how we get better. It's due to the bad shit and the stuff people put us through. It just is what it is. So like Taylor admitting that, even though it gives this person probably more than she'd like to give this person, but the just having gotten to where she's gotten and being grown enough to even say that outweighs that part of it. Just being so self-aware and grown and healed. That's what it is more than anything. Being healed outweighs all the other shit. So it's fine. It's fine. Thank you. Thank you for being one of my scars.
Maybe you've reframed it, and in your mind you never beat my spirit black and blue.
A lot of abusers, that's what they do. They reframe it, and her writing in this whole album is ridiculous, by the way. Like, you beat my spirit black and blue. Maybe in your mind you haven't. You've reframed it. That's what people will do. They'll not only will they gaslight everyone else, they'll gaslight themselves a little bit and try and reframe the hurt and the damage and the trauma they've caused on other people and make it seem like, no, I didn't do it. It wasn't all that bad what I did to them. No, it's like, no, you can reframe it all you want, but you beat my spirit black and blue.
And one day, the kid comes home singing a song that only us two is gonna know is about you, cause
oh, that is so much power, by the way. Just say, this is a fucking, like, this is her healing song, but it's also I'm taking back all my power song. One, not only am I just bigger than you in general, that's proven in this other point where your kid is going to be singing these songs that are about you, by the way, in which I've changed your name, by the way, in which you no longer hold the power over me. So congrats for that. This is such a smartly written song. It's just like from the fuck you aIMee to the thank you aIMee. And can you imagine if you reach the point where you can, whether it's your abuser or just somebody that did you really wrong emotionally or left you some sort of real deep rooted trauma, if you can be able to at some point later in your life say thank you as opposed to fuck you, but not invalidate all the fuck you that you ever felt about them, because all that shit is still very real. You experienced it and it all matters and it exists and it happened. But now you've grown and you've healed, and now you can say thank you as opposed to like, it's just it's the I won. It's the ultimate checkmate. I've healed from all this. Goodbye. Like, that is such a powerful song on this project, and I feel like in her whole discography, because of what it represents. And I've only been like a Taylor Swift fan for a couple of years now, and I wasn't around when all of this was happening, and I feel the magnitude and importance of this song as I sit here listening to it. I can't even imagine somebody listening to this song that, like, a Swifties that have been around since 2015, 2016. I mean, even further back with the original Kanye incident, but particularly going back to like around then, and having been around this long, and to come to this day have this song, shout out to y'all. I'm really happy for you guys, and happy for myself too, because I get to experience it today. All right, let's keep going. Let's go on to I look in people's windows. Okay, creepy, but it's fine.
I spied the catch in your breath. Out, 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 out. Northbound, I got carried away. I'm afflicted by the not knowing. So I look in people's windows, transfixed by rose golden glows. They have their friends over to drink nice wine. I look in people's windows in case you're at their table. What if your eyes looked up and met mine one more time?
Man, I love how I just adore how honest she's constantly. Every time someone asks me, like, what do you like or love so much about her, it's just her honesty. What she shares with the listener and her fans is unlike what most artists are willing to share. And like in this song here, for her to, I'm afflicted by the not knowing. Like, I just hate not knowing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look into other people's windows who might have a connection to you and see what you're up to, because I hate not knowing. So I gotta like try and find out. Kind of, it gives me like stalking an ex's Instagram or whatever, whatever social media or anything like that. It just gives me a lot of that energy. But that she just makes it a poem. Transfixed by rose golden glows, they have their friends over to drink nice wine. I look in people's windows in case you're at their table. What if your eyes looked up and met mine one more time? It's all I really. It's like what I'm really doing it for. It's just like that one last glance.
You had stopped and tilted your head. I still ponder what it meant. Now, 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 now.
I love the little catches to. She said earlier on this album about wishing that she had picked up on all of his sighs, right? And then in this song, she's like, I died the tiniest death. I spied the catch in your breath. Like there was a catch and I spied it. It's like little subtle details. She does it again here where she says, you stopped and tilted your head. Just that small head tilt. I still ponder what it meant. I know it meant something, and I still to this day spend time pondering what it meant. And there's so many like little instances of subtlety and people's body language, particularly in our lives, that we might be overthinking, or it actually might mean something, and we still to this day wonder like, what did that mean? We'll never be able to live inside this person's head, so we'll never know. And that's what kills us more than anything. It's the what did that mean? What were those sighs? What was that catch in their breath? What was the tilting of their head? So this, it's what separates her from everyone else, is to be able to relate, because we all relate to that, and we all like think to this day like, what did that one moment mean? Being afflicted by by not knowing drives her crazy. Hey, listen to This Is Why in Black Dog. She still got the location on, like they forgot to turn off the location sharing with her, and she's still checking because she's afflicted by the not knowing. She needs to know. That's a version of her looking through windows. Is her still like looking at this person's location and then seeing that they're at this old place where she shared so many memories with him. It's a version of that, is her looking through people's windows. It's just like Taylor's very consistent as a person throughout this album and throughout sharing with us a lot of the downs of what she experienced throughout, these failed relationships. All right, I'm really enjoying myself with this album, guys. Really, really enjoying myself. The writing's just so consistent. The writing is so good. So this is what happened with the Torture Poets Department Part 1. When I tell you, I don't know how much I appear to be enjoying the songs because I'm in the moment and it's impossible to know. I really enjoyed the songs on my first listen. It was like a whole different experience on the second, third, etc. like listens. Just being able to wrap myself inside the songs and enjoy them for what they are was such an elevated experience. Part of not being able to fully do that on the first listen is because the writing is so good. I'm just so fixated on the lyrics and how great her writing is, how poetic it all is, how personal it all is, how tied into her lore it all is, how connected I feel to a lot of it, how relatable a lot of it is, how honest and vulnerable a lot of it is. It's impossible to not just be overwhelmed by all these lyrics and almost lose sight of what these songs even sound like. And that's why I almost wish you guys could be here for me listening to these songs a second and third time. I would film that, but I would literally be filming forever. I gotta eat and sleep at some point, right? Yeah, listening to these songs, like especially with this album, especially because this to me is her lyrically at an all-time high. I don't know, as far as the Torture Poets Department, the first one, having some time with it now, I still need more time. It's still fresh. It's gonna end up in my top 3 for her. I think my favorite album is still gonna be Folklore, but I think it's gonna be second for me. I think I might have like Folklore, TTPD, and then Red, and Reputation. Red and Reputation flip themselves a lot, especially like depending on my mood because they're so different. This album's like top 2 or 3 for me. The first part. And having said that, it's her best writing. If I'm just doing like my favorite Taylor Swift album lyrically, it's number 1. It's number 1. So that already gives it so many points. And I just want to give you guys an inside look into how much I've enjoyed not only the first half of this project, but the second half. The writing quality is right in line with the first half, which makes me very happy. It's where she is in her career, obviously. She's going to be that consistent even across 31 songs, writing at least. And it makes me so happy to listen to these songs. And it makes me that much more excited to listen to them again and be able to appreciate the actual songs on that second listen. So let's get into the Prophecy track 26 overall.
hat around when I get home. I guess a lesser woman would have lost hope. A greater woman wouldn't beg. But I looked to the sky and said, please, I've been on my knees.
I love the way she's putting herself kind of in the middle. She's just very self-aware. She's like, a lesser woman would have lost hope, not me. I'm not losing hope. I'm not that lesser woman. A greater woman wouldn't beg. I'm not even that greater woman. I fall somewhere in between. I'm just a human. I'm a human woman. And I begged. I got on my knees. It's the next line.
Greater woman wouldn't beg, but I looked to the sky. Please, I've been on my knees. Change the prophecy. Don't want money, just someone who wants my company. Let it once be me. I have to speak to about if they can redo the prophecy.
Okay. Potential favorite song on the album. I don't know why I do this. I cannot do favorites with Taylor Swift on a first listen. I have to do what I did at the top of this video and give you guys my favorites from the last half after having them for a few days. I'm gonna do a Taylor Swift song tier video at some point. It's just gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna take me like hours and hours of like filming and editing, but it's fine. I want to do it. I want to relive a lot of these songs with you guys I've listened to over the course of the years and how they make me feel now. Anyways, aside from that, point being, this might be my favorite on the album. This is an incredible song so far. I love the prophecy, like this whole it never works out for me. Like, it never works out for me. And it feels like a prophecy at this point for it to just not work out for me. Is it like meant to be that I can't have happiness? That nobody like wants me for me? Isn't that a line in here somewhere? Like, I just want someone who wants my company. That's it. Like, let it once be me that they pick. That's devastating. That's so real also. Like, that is their that's what people want. Like, it's so sad, but if you ask somebody and it's real, and if they were really thinking about what they want in somebody, I think a true answer would be somebody who wants me, or somebody who wants me as much as I want them. Sometimes it's as simple as that, because oftentimes we are in situations where we're not as wanted as the level of wants and love and giving that we give out. Like, what we give out is not always given back to us. And that's so real in this song. It's just so real in this song. I love that she's begging. She's begging. I love the and it sounds so good too. I'm not letting how the song sounds go over my head as well. I'm enjoying every aspect of this.
On the table about if they can redo the prophecy.
This is so good.
Cards on the table, mind play out like fools in a fable. Oh, it was sinking in. Please, I've been on my knees. Change the prophecy. Don't want money, just someone who wants my company. Let it once be me who do. Please, I've been on my knees. Change the prophecy. Don't want money, just someone who wants my company.
It's so good.
Let it once be me.
Just once.
Do I have to speak to about if they can redo the prophecy?
I love that she's asking for the manager. I love that she's asking for the manager of the prophecy. Who do I have to speak to that can make this shit work out for me? I need the manager, because it's not working out for me otherwise. This is so fucking great.
A greater woman stays cool, but I howl like a wolf at the moon. And I look unstable, gathered with a coven round a sorceress table.
Wow. I love all of the I look unstable. Kind of speaks to like perception of women and how they're told to act and feel, and don't get yourself so hung up over this guy, over this lost partner or whatever. Like, don't give them all that power or whatever. And she's like, I can't help it. I just can't help it. This is who I am. Yeah, I admit, a greater woman stays cool, but I'm out here howling like a wolf at the moon. I look unstable. I admit that. I can't help it. A greater woman has faith. I'm gathered with a coven round a sorceress stable. And not only is that such a great lyric, but like, I could like picture it with Taylor with a lot of the outfits that I've seen her wear. Even statues crumble if they're made to wait. I'm so afraid I've sealed my. This is just fantastic songwriting. Yeah. This is one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs of all time. And this is why people ask, like, what's the, like, they see the hysteria and they see the stadium tour and they see just how insane that's going, and then they see the prices and the demand for it all, right? And it's like, well, that's crazy. How could that be? I'll tell you, it's because she makes songs like this. It's because she makes it the prophecy. And you might be, for me, it was like Tolerate It. There's so many songs I was looking forward to hearing at the Eras Tour. My favorite Taylor Swift song is Tolerate It. And I saw that was on the set list. I would have gone even if it was on the set list because there's so many other songs I love as well and impact me almost equally. And I just love Taylor at this point. But she makes songs that impact you and stick with you forever. And that you'll never forget the feeling that they make you feel. And just how much you enjoy the song in general. And this is one of those songs where like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking go to the Eras Tour if there's a chance that this song is performed live. There's no way I'm gonna miss that. And yeah, I know that like that's a whole conversation about like whether or not she sings these songs moving forward in the Eras Tour dates and which songs she does sing. I'm sure not only will she add a section of this to the set list, there's also the good chance of some of these songs ending up in the surprise song section. That's like a whole different conversation. But point being is just like, it's because she makes these great songs, along with many other reasons that I can go on and on and on and on about. Just very excited to have found officially one of my favorite all-time Taylor Swift songs that I can confidently say after one listen, because it's just that good. All right, Cassandra, however you prefer to say it, track 27.
'Cause that's where I was when I got the call. When the first stone's thrown, they're screaming. In the streets, there's a raging riot. When it's burn the bitch, they're shrieking. When the truth comes out, it's quiet.
This might be my first song I have to go to Genius for. I love the setting change, depicting like time is passing, because it starts out with she's just in her new house, placing daydreams, like just patching up cracks in the walls, just la-di-da-da-da. Now she gets to the point where now she's in her tower, weaving nightmares, twisting all my smiles into snarls. She's in a cell. She's in a tower in a cell with snakes. She's got snakes in her cell in this tower, weaving these nightmares. Weaving nightmares makes me, I don't know, like, is she writing songs? I don't know, but it's giving very Reputation. Obviously, like, the cell with the snakes gives me that, so it's hard not to think otherwise, and Taylor's very intentional when it comes to these things. I don't know who Cassandra's supposed to represent. Burn the bitch. They're shrieking. When the truth comes out, quiet. There was, like, fake news or whatever. Everyone's shrieking, like, perpetuating this fake news or this, like, false rumor, whatever that was reported. Something happened that's just not real. Then the truth comes out and everyone's quiet. Like, no one's like, oh, I'm sorry that we did all that to you.
So they set my life in flames. I regret to say, do you believe me now? Blood's thick, but nothing like a payroll. That they never spared a prayer for my soul. You can mark my words that I said it first. In a morning warning, no one heard. That's where I was when I lost it all.
What?
So they killed Cassandra first, 'cause she feared the worst.
She was trying to tell people, but no one wanted to hear her. For this giving very Evermore also, and I'm enjoying that about it musically. I love that heavy piano sound in any Taylor Swift song. That Bloodstick, was it someone in the family who betrayed Taylor for money? If she was in a tower filled with snakes, it would make me think she's like surrounded by people that she can't trust. Snakes, that makes me think of, again, the family line where payroll's thicker than blood in this situation. So like there was a snake that did her wrong and chose money over her. I don't know, man. I don't know anything about this. If this was her real life, we're going to look it up for sure. It is very Mad Woman, isn't it? The piano riff echoes that of Mad Woman. It does give me a lot of that. There's nothing like a mad woman. So somebody just contributed an annotation, and it might be right, it might not be right. They're saying they're screaming in the streets, there's a raging riot, might be about the Stonewall riots in 1969, but it's not reviewed, so it's just like they don't. It's not 100%. I'm not sure. I know y'all are gonna put me on to like the actual information. Doing like a lot of Greek mythology ties, it seems. I feel like because I just know like surface level information about all that stuff. I feel like if I knew a lot more about the situation, I'd be able to maybe understand more of the lyrics. I love that it did give also giving me folklore, but Mad Woman, yeah, it totally is giving Mad Woman, and I like that tie-in, especially sonically. But all right, we're gonna go on. We're gonna go on to Peter. Is the next track.
Forgive me, Peter, my lost fearless leader, in closets like cedar, preserved from when we were just kids. Goddess of timing once found us beguiling. She said she was trying. Peter, was she lying? My ribs said you were gonna grow up, then you were gonna come find me. Said you were gonna grow up, then you were gonna come find me. Said you were gonna grow up. Promises, oceans deep, never to keep.
Oh, I like this a lot. Oh, I like this a lot. You gotta go. I love this whole. It feels like a child, like it's about a childhood friend, a little bit, and speak. Like I love starting with the forgive me, forgive me, Peter, which already speaks to like forgive that this friendship of ours didn't turn out the way it was supposed to be. Especially when you talk about the goddess of timing once found us beguiling, which is a crazy word. Like, so first of all, in the rhyme scheme, timing, beguiling, trying, but once found us beguiling, like once found us, it's like charming but also misleading that she was trying. Was the whole god? We're still talking about the goddess of timing. My ribs get the feeling that she did lie. My gut, your gut's in there, right? My gut gets the feeling that she was lying. Man, I just love. You said you were gonna find me. Said we were gonna grow up. You were gonna come find me. Words from the mouths of babes. Promises oceans deep, never to keep. Promises like from babes, like from kids, from people that young, are typically never gonna be kept. You know, so again, I said words mean a lot, particularly when you're young. It's easy to just say things that you think are gonna just be so true, and it's just so easy to say now, but it's so hard to actually hold up your end of the bargain on some of those things as you grow older. Never to keep. And I love the sound of the song. I love her voice. I love her voice on this track, and the piano and the melody. It's one of my favorite songs. One of my favorite songs.
Heard great things, Peter, but life was always easier on you than it was on me. Sometimes it gets me when crossing your jet stream. We both did the best we could do underneath the same moon in different galaxies.
Love the I just love the melody and her voice on top of that melody and the simplicity of the piano. It's just one of my favorite tracks, absolutely. Along with the lyrics, of course, like we both did the best we could underneath the same moon, like so far apart, but we're still underneath the same moon in different galaxies, although at the same time.
I won't confess that I waited, but I let the lamp burn as the men masqueraded. I hoped you'd return with your feet on the ground. You said you'd come and get me, but you were 25 and the shelf life of those fantasies has expired. Lost to the Lost Boys chapter of your life.
Oh my God.
Forgive me, Peter. Please know that I tried to hold on to the days when you were mine. But the woman who sits by the window has turned out the light.
Wow, she gave up. She tried, she waited.
You were gonna grow up, then you were gonna come find me.
Talking about galaxies and moons and oceans. I love all that incorporation into the song too. It makes me a little emotional too, because I watched Past Lives kind of recently, a couple months ago, and that's one of the, go watch Past Lives right now if you haven't. It's one of the best movies to come out last year. It reminds you of that movie, like just being kids and having this connection, and then kind of just hoping that like fate, not even fate, because in this song she's more relying on the promise when we were younger that you would come find me when we grew up, but just like hoping that you find each other when you grow up after having this connection as children or just when you were younger. As far as like who it's about, I'm not entirely sure. It could be, but she also says like you said you'd come and get me, but you were 25 and the shelf life of those fantasies has expired. Lost to, and I love that, lost to the Lost Boys chapter of your life. So I feel like they were kids, they were younger, they knew each other at a very young age. Then 25 came around and he's still like years later, he's like, I'm gonna come find you. The fantasies of all that, like that was the shelf life. It expired. Like we're at age 25. It's been so long. The shelf, like I don't have these fantasies anymore. I turned out that light. Lost to the Lost Boys chapter of your life. Like you're 25, you're in your Lost Boys chapter of your life. You're lost. Like it's over. It's never gonna happen. I don't even know what Peter could be a connection to. Obviously, she's not gonna use the person's actual name, but I'm trying to think of like what Peter could be connected to, like in literature or something. Right off the bat, let's click Peter. Oh, Peter Pan. That makes sense. Yeah, with your feet on the ground, Peter Pan is someone who kind of floats around. So we're definitely referencing Cardigan. So yeah, when you go on Genius, Genius brings up both, both gentlemen that this entire project is about. Well, one it's definitely all about, and another one gets a couple tracks here and there. But you guys let me know what you think, no matter who it's about, because I try and analyze without getting into all that stuff, but sometimes it's unavoidable and like it is relevant to what the song's about, right? And Taylor's sharing it with us, so I don't totally mind like getting into it to up to a certain extent. I would like to know like who you guys think it's about, and part of that is because it is one of my favorite songs on the album. This song is absolutely one of my favorite songs on the album. It's even that much more enhanced by it being like potentially like the whole Peter Pan thing coming back to me. The whole we're gonna grow up and be like, that's a whole Peter Pan thing. I can't believe I didn't get that when I was listening to the song. Yeah, we're gonna grow up. Yeah, absolutely. There's so many connections there to Peter Pan, while also there being, and like just being hopeful that this person will come find you, and connections to this all elusive type person and love and connection as well. And like the shelf life of those fantasies has expired. That makes that line hit that much harder. Connections to like older songs of hers, and just as a song listening experience at all, it's one of my favorite songs in this album anyway. All right, let's move on to The Bolter. Someone that bolts, someone that leaves. Next track.
With a quite bewitching face, splendidly selfish, charmingly helpless, excellent fun till you get to know her. Then she runs like it's a race. Started with a kiss, oh we must stop meeting like this, but it always ends up with a town car speeding out the drive one evening. Ended with the slam of a door, then he'll call her a whore. Wish he wouldn't be sore, but as she was leaving, it felt like breathing. Taming a bear, making him care, watching him jump, then pulling him under.
What? I love the details. I don't know what this song's about, I'm gonna be honest, but I love the details. She fell through the ice, then came out alive. And she says in the beginning, she like froze in frigid water, right? Or she was 6 in frigid water. She almost drowned.
That's when she sees the littlest leaks down on the floorboards, and she just knows.
Ooh.
She must bolt.
Before
Started with a kiss, oh we must stop meeting like this, but it always ends up with a town car speeding.
You know what I really like about this second half, and the first half gave me these vibes. I think the second half is giving me these vibes even more. These songs all sound very different. I think in the first half there were some more similar sounding songs, which I was fine with, but in the second half there does feel like there's some more different sounding songs. Like I've made callbacks to Fearless and Speak Now. I've made callbacks to Folklore and Evermore. I feel like this is living in like that Red kind of era, and I just love her ability to give us all these different sounds across this album, particularly the second half.
It feels like the time she fell through the ice, then came out alive.
She's reliving being that 6-year-old. Like they end up in the town car speeding out the drive one evening. It ends with the slam of the door in the car. He calls her a whore. Obviously not an ideal situation, right? And then as she's leaving, it feels like breathing. It feels good to leave this situation. Obviously someone's calling you a whore. You never want to be in that situation with anybody. It is time to bolt. She's leaving. It feels like breathing. She's leaving the situation. It's a good feeling. all her lives flash before her eyes as she's leaving. As she's leaving, it feels like the time she fell through the ice, and she's reliving being that 6-year-old, being in like the frigid water and kind of barely surviving. The song feels so fresh. Like, I just love the changing in sounds across these songs, man. Like on the second half, it's such a fresh feeling about all of it. Being able to reminisce on different eras of Taylor and how she's incorporating that into these songs, but at the same time, they do feel like they exist now. Like, it's not like a time capsule of like, I say this could have been on Red, but not in a way where like it just feels like Red. No, it feels like the Tortured Poets department with like the splash of Red, and that's what I like about it. As well as the other tracks I pointed out compared to other eras of Taylor. I love when it's got like that real country kick when it gets to that. Started with a kiss, so we must stop meeting like this, but it always ends up like that whole part. It's like just really got that country feel to it, and also just makes a lot of sense. I don't know like what she's talking about, scenario she's talking about, or who she's talking about, or any of that stuff, but the whole like reminiscing like about or the callback to her being a kid, barely surviving like that almost drowning in that ice, and then bringing it back to like get into this situation with this guy where she kind of barely survived it and she walked away on her own, and it felt like she was reliving the experience of like surviving, like falling through the ice and making it out, but she came out alive. She came out alive from the drowning, but she also feels alive because she was able to leave this situation. So I love that. It speaks to just like growth as a person. Speaks to self love. That's for sure. And I like that about this song, as well as like the again that little country flair to it. All right, Robin. Last name. So many names here. Track 30.
You are bloodthirsty, out window panes, talking utter nonsense. You have no idea in sweetness. Way to go, tiger. Higher and higher, wilder and lighter for you. May you roar at your dinosaurs.
What?
You're a just ruler. You have a favorite spot on the swing set. You have no room in your dreams for regrets. No idea. The time will arrive for the cruel and the mean. You learn to bounce back just like your trampoline.
Wait. Here I am thinking they're depicting like this terrible man. Is this about a baby? You're an animal, you're blood there, like, you know, little babies, toddlers, kids pretend to be animals all the time. Strings tied to levers make me think of some sort of functioning baby equipment. I don't know. I can't exactly say what, but like something. Strings tied to levers. Isn't that the little thing you put above a crib? I don't know what it's called. Way to go, tiger. Kind of how you speak to kids. Long may you roar your dinosaurs. You're just a ruler covered in mud. Like, you look ridiculous. You can say that about a kid. A kid can look ridiculous covered in mud. Absolutely. Buried down deep out of your reach, the secret we all vowed to keep it from you. In sweetness. So we're trying to keep this secret from this kid. To protect the kid, I guess. I don't know what the secret is. You got dragonflies above your bed. Favorite spot on the swing set. No room in your dreams for regrets because you're just a kid. You're fresh out the womb. There's no regrets when you're that young. No such thing. That doesn't kick into get a little older. Time will arrive for the cruel and the mean. You're not there yet. You're just a kid, very innocent. Will curtail your curiosity and sweetness for the best of you. Way to go, tiger, higher and higher. Wild. This whole time I'm like, this is like tearing this guy up. It's about a kid. Is the kid Robin? Who's Robin? I have no idea. You guys let me know. Man, I don't know anything in the Taylor Swift orbit that would speak to that. But it's such an interesting song. I almost feel like it's like her. I know she kind of did some of this like on Bigger Than the Whole Sky and Midnight's Right, which is my favorite songs off of that. Not just off of that, in her whole discography. God, don't get me started on that fucking song and its greatness. But she did some of that in that song, right, where she gives. Like, it feels like she made that song to give to her fan base and give them something that they can listen to and apply to their own experiences in a quite sad way, right? But also like in this way where you can celebrate more and move on. It almost feels like she's giving this song to the fans again as a way to just something to give to their children, like the innocence. If you're a Swiftie and you've got a little kid, little boy, little girl, this Robin, which again like can work for a little boy or a girl, is just something she's maybe just giving to the fans with kids to have to be able to play for those kids. If that's what she's doing, a lot of fucking props to you, Taylor. If I'm way off base, please let me know. I would really appreciate that. The last song of the album, guys, the manuscript. I can't believe we've gotten to this point. It's going to be another 3-hour video. This is going to be another 3-hour video. That's crazy. That's what she does. I hope you guys have had a good time. This is it. Let's do it. I've had a great time, the manuscript. I can't believe I have this much Taylor Swift music to listen to, like for the next however many months, years. Just such a blessing. A lot of piano on the second half.
Now and then she rereads the manuscript, the entire torrid affair. Give you my heart if you needed it. She rolled her eyes and said, "You're a professional." Said that if the sex was half as good as the conversation was, soon they'd be pushing strollers.
I'd love the now and then she rereads the manuscript of the entire torrid affair. I love that because it's like, Taylor keeps a journal, a diary. She does, obviously, right? She's probably how she's so able to easily relive a lot of these moments and situations and relationships and whatnot and just put them into songs so specifically. And I feel like she's speaking to that in the beginning of the song. Like, she's just going back and rereading how she's probably so detailed in the journaling and the diary writing. She's probably so detailed that it basically is a manuscript. Like, she's able to relive, essentially, the experience just by reading it. I love that imagery.
But soon it was over.
So, like, he said, "I'm a donor, but I'm not a donor. I give you my heart if you need it." Kind of a pickup line. I feel like she says, "You're a professional," which is kind of like her just saying, like, you're kind of like just, that's like a pickup line. Like professional, like pickup line, essentially. And then he says, "If the sex was half as good as the conversation was, we'll be pushing strollers soon." Like just more pickup lines, kind of, but soon it was over. It was all over after that. So this is definitely a talker she's with here.
In the age of him, she wished she was 30. And made coffee every morning in a French press. Then she dated boys who were her own age, with dartboards on the backs of their doors.
It makes me think of like playing Grand Theft Auto and watching American Pie. Like you also have a dartboard on the back of your door. But hey, there's no age limit to any of these things.
And the years passed like scenes of a show. The professor said to write what you know. Looking backwards might be the only way to move forward.
I love, you know what? I'm so glad she said that because one of the things... Shout out to Anthony Fantano, who's people like you are why I stay off the internet as much as I can, because your takes are just shit and terrible, and you're just so narrow-minded and refuse to think of any perspective outside of your own, potentially, and just the music elitists. And it's just like, I have so many more thoughts. I'll keep to myself for now, because whatever, right? It's just really unfortunate, disheartening, frustrating, all the above, to see other people, they're grown-ass people, tearing down other people who are just sharing their experiences. And I love that Taylor points out here, professor said to write what you know. Looking backwards might be the only way to move forward. Sometimes you want to write about really old shit that happened a really long time ago, and sometimes that's the way to move forward. There is no time limit on... Nobody could put a time limit on your own emotions and experiences as far as when you're no longer allowed to speak on them anymore. That's not a thing. All right. So if Taylor Swift wants to write songs about when she was 15 years old, no one has the right to tell her she can't do that. And speaking to the fellow that I just pointed out, no one has the right to invalidate her experiences. If she says she's going through something or she went through something, she went through it. It's not any of our rights to tell her that she didn't go through it or to try and validate it in any type of way because of some insecurity that you have. Anyways, I saw something floating around. I tweeted something, but I don't think the tweet even captured quite how annoyed I was with seeing that. Just let people feel how they feel. Like, just stop the invalidation. I love. Professor said to write what you know. Looking backwards might be the only way to move forward. And I also have seen like conversation in general about like why is Taylor still talking about these old things that happened. Like she wants to, because she wants to. This is her way of moving forward. It's her way of making art. Go make your own damn art in the way that you want to make it. Is that okay? All right, moving forwards, guys. Much like Taylor Swift.
The tears fell in synchronicity with the score.
Synchronicity with the score.
And at last, she knew what the agony had been for. Now and then I reread the manuscript, but the story isn't mine anymore.
Oh, wow. Oh, I just got chills, man. Is that her way of letting go of everything? The story isn't mine anymore. Now and then I reread the manuscript. Now and then. But it's not my story anymore. Is that her way of letting go of everything? I just got crazy chills rereading that. One last souvenir from my trip to your shores. Yeah, right? Because she was with someone and she was visiting a place where she wasn't from, right? Makes me think of So Long London, top tier song on the first half. This is such a smart way to end the album. It's such a smart way to end the album. It just puts a pin in so many things. I love that she writes in a way that doesn't take away from the impact of any of the other songs. She actually does the opposite. She enhances so many of the other songs in this project and the first half of the project with so many of these songs. Like there's so many different songs that enhance other songs and their meanings. Guys, I fear that I've made another 3-hour video with one less song, by the way. How did that happen? It's what Taylor Swift does to me. She makes me feel so many things that I just don't feel listening to other artists because of the way she writes specifically. I know I said this at some point, but I know this album's gonna have the same impact that the first album had on me, where I'm going to need to listen to it a second, third, and fourth time to really have a good understanding of the songs and how the songs move me like sonically and as far as the sound of them all go, because it's just so impossible to not take in so much lyrically on the first listen, especially at this point in my Taylor Swift listening life. I just so look forward to her lyrically as much as anything. And all I know is with that first half, man, I told you on second, third, fourth listens, I just sat there just smiling. I would just smile from being in awe of how great a lot of these songs are. They would just make me smile because they were so good. Like the 9 I listed, I'm just smiling like an idiot at just how great the songs are as I'm listening to them. And I'm thinking of like, I got to let the people know in the TTPD anthology reaction just how much I'm enjoying these songs in the re-listen. So I'm glad that I could do that in this video here. All I know is I just spent another 15 songs with Taylor and I'm just overwhelmed in the best way, like in the most inspired kind of way. I want to go back right away and re-listen and re-experience all these songs and just sit in them in silence and let them wash over me. I'm going to go do that now, actually. And then I'm going to go edit the video and make sure I get it to all you guys so we can enjoy this together. Again, I want to echo what I said at the beginning of this video. Some of the comments on the first half of that video are just some of my favorite comments I've gotten in a while, especially like on one video in totality. Like a lot of people are so kind and say such nice things, but as far as like in bulk on one video, the kindness was just really telling of the Swifties, like the true Swifties to me, like the really kind. When I think of a Swiftie, like you guys are the ones that I think of, and it just makes me really honored to be a part of that universe, to continue to make content that hopefully you guys can enjoy. And yeah, I'm just really thankful. I'm really thankful for all of you. I'm really thankful for Taylor Swift. And we're not done with Taylor content, I promise you. I mean, obviously she's going to make a couple more Taylor's versions albums, right? Reputation and self-titled, but I'd like to do something with you guys even before that, and we definitely will, and I hope that you guys will spend that time with me. And either way, just thankful that you spent this time with me. All the love in the world. If you're still here, you sat for a long video. I truly do love you very much, and I will see you for the next video. I hope you guys enjoy the world out of this album for as long as you need it. I hope it does everything that you need it to do for you. Lots of love, guys. I'll see you later.